at this point, they'd never seen women perform.
One-on-one in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel. For the first time ever, we have a women's championship match here tonight in the Middle East in Saudi Arabia. SmackDown Women's Championship! Queen's Crown Tournament Final! Crown Jewel at Mohammed Abdul Arena in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We're in the capital city of Riyadh tonight.
Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is Diaz.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
Yay! Congrats! Oh my god! All the photos made me so happy. And there's also a photo of Cody crying or tearing up.
Yeah, because we had our first look and that was one.
I love it. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
This is a Shara Shaki inspired Saudi Arabia
I
special.
see your dress for the occasion. You literally are dressed exactly like the women were.
Crown Jewel 2021.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, always a very interesting show.
Oh my gosh, very interesting for sure.
But for the women, for the first time, I feel like they try to make it mean a little more. I feel like there will be long-lasting effect coming out of it, starting from Queen's Crown Tournament.
Yeah, I felt like I said that with way too much enthusiasm. Okay, let's be honest here. The whole tournament was not enthusiastic whatsoever. The way that I'm talking right now was way more enthusiastic and way more energy that went into all those matches. Come on. This is a great way to get the women involved that are not in the title picture, to kind of blast them off to a great push or kind of get more TV time. If anything, they got less TV time.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
They had very little TV time. All the matches are so short. Although the results, I have to say, pretty unexpected.
Yeah, it was. I really thought it was Shayna's tournament to win.
Right.
I really thought as soon as I saw that, I'm Shayna's winning it.
Liv getting eliminated first.
That was a shocker.
Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Shayna getting eliminated. All of them are very shocking.
Yeah, they really are.
And then we ended up with Zelina versus Doudrop.
I'm glad Zelina won because I think that the whole queen character that for some reason everybody comes to be whenever they win this Kingdom tournament, I think that's such a heel character.
Right.
I think it'll be really hard to do it with a face character, especially with Doudrop, how cute and fun she is. So I'm glad Zelina won. I think she definitely needed it, especially because she has not won a singles match since she came back to WWE, besides the tournament wins.
That's why it's kind of weird that she won this.
Yeah, right? Totally. With no momentum coming in behind her at all. Hey, all of a sudden, boom, you win this crown and this scepter and this robe you couldn't put on.
But on Raw, she was wearing the crown and the scepter, and she looked so gorgeous.
Yeah, she did.
So she's gonna rock it.
Totally.
And also, we know that she loses all the time. But whenever she speaks, because she's such a good promo, I'm like, wait a minute, you are a queen.
Yeah, la reina.
What do we think of this match?
A solid match, but a solid house show match. It wasn't great, it wasn't bad, it was just a good match. Nothing to call home about or write home about. Nothing to spectacular happened. It was just oh, okay. But then again, the whole tournament was, oh, okay. I actually thought that the match was gonna end after she did that whole cool head scissors tornado DDT combo.
Right.
I'm oh, this is it. This is the finish of the match because I thought it was gonna be as short as the other matches have been. Thankfully, it wasn't. But I definitely feel it could have had such more meaning, anything behind it. But I think it was such a lackluster build-up. Unfortunately, with the tournament, I think that's why the finals felt that way. It didn't feel like the finals of a tournament.
I agree. It was an offensive match.
No, not at all.
It was a 5-minute match. It was the longest match of the tournament.
Yeah.
But I did really like the tornado DDT.
Yeah, that was a really good spot.
What do you think of this match in regards to their size differences?
I kind of wanted them to use it more. I don't think it was used enough. I know there was a couple times that it was, but I think they could go do way more with that, especially because there is such a huge size difference. Quite honestly, anybody who's in the ring with Zelina Vega is going to be a huge size difference because she's so short and tiny. But I just feel like they could have done so much more with that. played with it more. You know there's going to be a rematch. So maybe they'll save it for the second match. So something super random that I noticed, and I doubt anybody else noticed this, but when after Zelina Vega did the code red for the finish, Doudrop was laying there with her hands like this, and I don't know why, it bothered me so much that she was just laying there. Like, she was just like, surprise, I'm here. Like, while she was being pinned, she was just like, I don't know why I noticed that. I don't know why it bothers me so much. Like, I don't know, I feel like fight back or like try to get out of it. She's just like, I'm here.
I do have to say though, she sold the heck out of the code red.
She really did. And she took that beautifully and it was delivered beautifully. Those hands, I can't get over it. It's like such small details like that, especially it bothers me so much when somebody's getting pinned and the person getting pinned is staring at the ref. And I hate that so much. And like, that doesn't even matter. That doesn't affect the match whatsoever. But it's just like tiny small things that I see, maybe because I'm a wrestler or maybe just I'm weird or both. That I hate when people look at the ref when there's somebody's counting. You could hear him count. Why do you need to stare at him? It's really weird. And her little cute little hands just like, hi, I'm being pinned.
I wonder when they arrive because Doudrop looked kind of tired. Even when she's entering, she usually does like this whole
thing and she did it.
She like kind of did it like
maybe they told her not to. I don't know.
Maybe they're like no fingering.
And at first I thought that they could only wear all black. Zelina was just wearing her kick pads and made it work with her shirt. And Doudrop was just all black. But obviously later on in the second match, I'm like, what? You can wear different colors? Well, wear different colors. Where's your cool purple and pink bodysuit, Doudrop, you know?
So let's get to the second match. Semi-main event, SmackDown Women's Championship, triple threat, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. And like you said, their attire looked pretty epic for the restriction that was given to them.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's not DS epic. Patreon exclusive preview. And that's when I noticed, I'm like, oh, you can have different colors besides black. And maybe that's why everybody's been wearing those bodysuits, is because they were preparing for those bodysuits at Saudi Arabia.
That's the Candice Michelle virus.
Yes, totally. It's a plague. It's hit everybody. But it was cute. I liked how everybody wore one that kind of incorporated with their character, especially Sasha. I feel like Sasha would wear that anyway. She just wore a t-shirt on top of it.
So this was almost a 20-minute match.
Which I was so surprised. Like at first I was like, they're actually getting some good, decent time.
Right.
Which I think they definitely needed it. I'll tell you guys right now, 3-ways are so hard to do. Multi-person matches are hard, but for some reason, triple threat matches are like the hardest. I would much rather do like a fatal 4-way even. They're kind of hard to do because you have to be like, do you pair off and like kick somebody out, and then you guys do a spot, or do all 3 of them do it? So they did a great job of pulling off a good, solid triple threat match. I will say though, it started off a little sloppy at the beginning. I think they're kind of like filling each other out, and it really picked up towards the middle and especially towards the end.
Right, there were definitely some sloppiness. I wonder when they arrived. That's what I'm like, everyone looked a little tired of it.
Right? A little jet lag maybe.
Yeah, but this really took off.
It really did.
Amazing, very innovative spots.
For sure, so many good spots. So there was this one spot that they did in the corner, and I really paid attention to it because I was gonna do that in my triple threat match that I had at Gallimania. It's whenever she did the monkey flip. I think it was Bianca who caught Sasha into her head scissors and threw her back into the corner, and that's totally a spot from AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe from 2005 TNA. I know that's super random and nobody probably knows what I'm talking about, but if you have some time, and actually I know most people here watch women's wrestling, but if you want a good solid men's match, that's really one to watch, and that's where that spot came from. And like I said, I know because I watched that match to steal that, and I'm like, oh hey, I know where that's from. But there was a lot of really good creative spots that I think showcase everybody's ability.
And oh my god, Sasha Banks doing that stratisfaction on Bianca Belair was so good. The way that Trish did it to Lita, it was so good, and especially because Sasha and Trish has been doing this like Twitter feud for some reason. Very good.
Oh my god, the strength spots that Sasha did, speechless.
The one hand
of gorilla press was like, what? Also, shout out to Sasha because that's really a lot of her too. Standing perfectly still and posting. Shout out to her too, but obviously it's Bianca. And then when she picked both of them up after the disarm her, when Becky had both of them disarm her, also cool from Becky, but she picked them up from that was really cool. So many showmanship of Bianca's strength, which was so cool. And did you notice how big of a pop she got from the crowd?
That's what I've been saying lately. So because of Bianca, Raquel Gonzalez, even Ivy Nile in NXT, powerhouse women have been like kicking asses. Bar's really high.
It really is.
Lately, like in Impact, Savannah Evans.
Oh yeah, I love her. She's so fun.
Love her, but because everyone's just showing off like that, I feel like everyone needs to step up.
I know. Like you said, it's not only the bar set for WWE, the bar is set like all across the board because WWE is obviously the biggest brand and what everybody watches. So once you see like, okay, where are the other powerhouses? Why aren't you guys doing that? I mean, I pick up 2 girls at one time for a Samoan drop. Just saying.
Yeah, cue the clip. Is there a clip?
I don't know. There's a picture. So
speaking of pops, people were obviously very excited for this.
Very.
People knew exactly who they were.
Yep.
They were popping for it. I think the pop was biggest for Becky Lynch.
I think so too, for sure.
But yeah, people were excited to see them.
They were into the match too. Throughout the whole match, I totally noticed a "This is awesome" chant, which totally was like, "What? Yay! This is great!" I think it's progress is progress. You know, taking a little win that you get, but hearing that "This is awesome" chant for a women's match in Saudi Arabia was actually kind of cool, especially considering that they weren't even allowed to perform there at one point.
Right.
And while of course we all know that this is just a money grab for WWE, I mean it's kind of cool to see at least that tiny little bit of progress. And I mean, who knows if it really spark any change that is much needed, but at least it's something. So we'll take the little wins where you can.
Right. I'm a big proponent of like soft changes and change their culture.
Yeah.
Again, this is very much a money grab. Yes, we all know that. I do want to acknowledge some of the things that WWE did in this show that were little changes. So they had a female referee. They also had the segment with Natalya presenting championships to breast cancer survivors.
That was really cool. I did see that segment. It was really awesome to see that and to see like women like of the community be showcased like that. I thought that was definitely a big step. And they look so cute and happy with their belts. Shout out to the one that was on her phone the whole time. I feel you. But it was really awesome to see that. And I'm glad that Natalya still got to be Natalya because what she was wearing, I was like, wait, what is she wearing? But it kind of like still looked like that's something that she would wear anyway.
She would wear that,
yeah. So it worked out. So I'm glad they're doing like, you know, little things like that.
So what do we think of the ending in this match?
It was a fun, solid finish. It didn't make anybody look weak. I would think like, yeah, how else are you going to finish that? And I was like, oh, she's grabbing the rope. It's a triple threat. I don't know if you guys know this, but triple threat has no rules. And I think people seem to forget that. And it's always so funny when people grab the ropes to break up a pin in a triple threat. It's like, no, well, too bad. You can't do that. So I think it worked out great. I will say this was a spot fest of a match. Okay. But I feel like sometimes it had to be, especially with the stage that we're at and who was in it. But also I feel like some of the spots were forced. Especially whenever Sasha came in to break up the pin after Becky did a jackknife a pin. And then it was just like really awkward and weird where she kind of just like laid there for Bianca and like stood up. It's like, I get it's a cool spot, but also like if it's not there, it's not there. I didn't think the finish felt that way. Like I thought, you know, because it was like lots of spots and very spotty. But the finish felt right. A good way to end a solid match.
I actually really like this finish, especially given that right after this event, the draft will be in place. Not making anyone look weak I think it's a good way to go. It kept everyone's character very strong. Sasha had that character of very opportunistic heel. Becky was the man. She was the veteran who knew how to win a match. And Bianca looked stellar throughout the match. So I think it was great for every woman.
Totally, because you have 3 of your biggest stars in that match. You don't want anybody to take the pin clean, especially because those are your top stars and you're willing to keep on pushing after this match. So I think that was the right call for sure. What do you think is going to happen with the women's titles?
I don't want them to swap it.
Me either.
So I actually looked into it. I looked into men's wrestling for y'all. Last time they swapped the tag belts, apparently they ended their current reign and then like gave them another title reign.
So it'll be just like another one like...
So Charlotte's gonna have another title run. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
Just hurry up and get to 16.
But like, I think if you swap it, it kind of lessens the value of the title.
And I also heard the other thing that could happen where they could combine into one. And I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen because I heard that they could, like, who's ever the last year with at Survivor Series, who are still women's champion, will combine 1 to 1. But I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, why? Why do people want that? We want championship opportunities for both
for everybody, for sure. So I hope that doesn't happen. Overall, solid match. I want to go back and watch it again because that's the thing about a super spotty match is that you forget
Yeah.
what happened because there's so much cool stuff. There's almost not enough time to breathe, to let it like sit in. And I don't know if, especially all you super indie fans and super indie wrestlers that know this, you don't have to do all the spots you can do in a match. Weird. What a weird concept you have. And I think that's why I'm not booked in all these cool indie super shows. I don't wrestle that way. Believe me, yes. Give me all the cool spots. You know, I'll sometimes bust out a cool fun spot.
Ultimately, the storytelling is the most important part.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. But it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Alright, so that is our Saudi Arabia Crown Jewel 2021 review. Paloma, where can we find you and see all your beautiful wedding photos?
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter. And DS, where can we find you at?
You can find me at DS Shin and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter, and I caved and made a TikTok.
Ooh, finally!
And I'm so unpopular on it, so please help me out by finding me at Ring the Bell DS on TikTok. Alright, we'll see you next time. Bye! You guys, you have to see the wedding dress.
Totally. Come to my Instagram at Paloma Star.
So beautiful!
Thank you so much. It was such a good time. Everything went wrong, of course, including Cody raking his toe. That Wednesday before, I burned myself with a curling iron. I don't know you can still see it. My maid of honor forgot her dress. It was a whole thing. Initially, they played the wrong song for me walking down the aisle. Everybody's stuck in traffic because UT played a football game. But you know what? At the end of the day, I got married. Everything else was extra, and I had the time of my life. Super fun.
All the photos made me so happy.
That's only half, not even half. It's like a fourth of the pictures. So
Okay.
can't wait to post some more.
I love it. I love it. So congratulations to you.